I remember in Flirting with Disaster, there's a bit where Ben Stiller goes into the bathroom and he's like mumbling to himself as he's taking his pants off and putting them back on, because he's lying to his wife. He hasn't told his wife that Téa Leoni's in the apartment, and he's like, he's doing it anyway. And I said, and we called it the Warren Beatty thing, because Warren Beatty has this thing where he can move and kind of mutter to himself in this way. I don't know what I'm doing. This is crazy. I should just say something. I'll just say something. So you know, there's a. If you ask me how I direct actors, there's one way. I say, do it kind of the way. Do it the way Warren Beatty would do it, and that's legitimate. And that's legitimate direction, and I'll tell you why. First of all, I'll say any legitimate direction is by any means necessary to get, if it gets you there and gets us there. And the other is that, you know, I read how Bob Dylan, and I've said this before, wrote his songs, and John Lennon wrote their songs. They would have other people's songs in their heads. And that was very liberating to me as an artist, because you think, oh, I'm not allowed to do that, you know. And Bob Dylan says, no, I have somebody else's song in my head all day. Or John Lennon would say, yeah, John Lennon would say, that was my Roy Orbison song. And you go, really? That song doesn't remind me at all of Roy Orbison. But to him, that's what it was. He had Roy Orbison in his head. He wrote a song, or he had Bob Dylan in his head, and he wrote Norwegian Wood. That doesn't really sound like Bob Dylan to me. I mean, I guess a little bit, but. So that just, you know, you can do that as a performer. You can say, well, this is like this performance or this movie. Sometimes I've had other movies in my head. So when I made Spanking the Monkey, I had The Graduate in my head, and that movie doesn't really feel anything like The Graduate, except it has a very anguished young man at the center of it who has sex with an older woman.